The conclusion to the Hunger Games movies. I was going to throw epic conclusion to the epic Hunger Games movies in there, but I don't think epic is a word to use to describe this series, or the conclusion for that matter. The Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 2, because one movie for the third book just wasn't enough. They want your money. So The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 picks up where The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 left off. There's war in the districts of Panem, the capital is destroying all those districts, but the one leader of the rebellion, Katniss Everdeen, is gonna march into the capital and assassinate President Snow. Now, I'm not gonna lie when I say I was entertained to a degree with this movie, because my whole mind says that the whole Hunger Games movie series is overrated and overhyped. They are fun movies to watch, but they're not the next Coming of Christ like people think they are. But I always try to look at the positives of this movie. For instance, one positive is Jennifer Lawrence as Katniss Everdeen. Anything Jennifer Lawrence is in, you have to love. When she's playing Katniss Everdeen, or when she's in American Hustle, or when she's posing for Vanity Fair with nothing on but a snake, or taking shots on MTV wearing a see-through dress. My point being, she is super hot. The actress, she actually makes me care about Katniss Everdeen. I feel like if Katniss were played by like some other chick, I'd be like, yeah, I really don't care, but because it's Jennifer Lawrence is cool and she's a good actress, and you know, like I said, she is hot and super sexy, and that's just an added bonus, but she is a good actress. And for what we got with the action scenes were pretty entertaining in this movie. Granted, there was one action scene that kind of took me out of the movie for a minute. I was just like, that is just the end of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Like that scene in the Half-Blood Prince where Harry and Dumbledore are in the cave and the Inferi come up from the water and attack him. Oh yeah, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the Half-Blood Prince. There was a scene in this movie that reminded me of that, but it was still cool to see that. It was something different for the Hunger Games. And what I liked about these action scenes too is the fact that like there's no shaky cam going all over the place like this. It's actually focused. And there are certain scenarios in this movie where I was just like, you know, I like the direction that went. And like, for instance, they kind of play off the fact, because they're going into the Capitol in this movie, and they kind of play off the fact that like, while they're in the Capitol, there's all these traps, so it's technically like the Hunger Games. And I like that aspect of the movie. However, this movie dragged. It was boring as all hell in some parts. It was so boring, it got to the point of putting me to sleep. The pacing for this movie, and I noticed, and thinking about it now, I kind of noticed this throughout the whole Hunger Games series. The pacing throughout this whole series is so incredibly bad. I mean, the first two movies, it takes an hour to actually get to the Hunger Games. The first part of Mockingjay has one action scene. One fucking action scene. This movie, there's action scenes spread out, and they're pretty sweet, sure, but there is one action scene in the middle of the movie that had a 20-minute build-up that it didn't need. Pretty much, here's what happens. And this, spoiler alert, I guess not really. They go into an abandoned subway station, and for 20 minutes, they try to figure out how to get out of there. Walking through the sewers and shit, and they, like, go past the ladder. I'm like, there's a fucking service ladder right there! Take that! But no, they bypassed that too, and it honestly just made the movie more boring and dragged on more than it had to. Which just makes me question why, other than the sake of grabbing this from you, did this movie need to be two parts? Because it really didn't. It was unnecessary to split Mockingjay into two movies. There are some series that need to split their last book into two movies. Harry Potter needed to do it. The Hobbit. Listen to this. The Hobbit was one book that split itself into three movies, and all three movies were spectacular. It needed to. Harry Potter needed to. It was an act of necessity. It wasn't just a cash grabber. This movie, you honestly could have just made Mockingjay a 2-hour and 45-minute to 3-hour movie, and it probably still wouldn't have been that satisfying. But there is no need to split this fucking thing into two movies. It's an unnecessary two-parter, just like how Divergent is going to be an unnecessary two-part finale, just like how The Maze Runner, if they ever get there because those movies don't make any money, will probably have its finale split into two movies. Just like how dumb Twilight split itself into two movies. What the hell went on in those two movies other than the fact they played chess and had a baby in that two-part finale? Oh wait, nothing. I went into this movie looking for three things: death, destruction, and Armageddon. I didn't even get destruction or Armageddon, and the final act of this movie was very disappointing because I was expecting Armageddon there. Did not get Armageddon. I look at the Hunger Games movies like I look at Justin Bieber. It's just Justin Bieber, yeah, I can't say I hate the kid, even though I might, but I can't hate the kid. I don't listen to his music. I don't listen to him. I don't think he has any talent, but I mean, the dude's got more than me. He's famous, for Christ's sake. But the Bieber fever bullshit, yeah, that bothers me. It's the same thing with both the Hunger Games books and the movies. Yeah, the books are good, the movies are entertaining, they're fun to watch, and you get to watch Jennifer Lawrence run around and kick ass for 2.5 hours each. But it's like these movies, everybody treats them like they're the next Harry Potter or the next Coming of Christ, and if you don't go see them, hell is gonna freeze over. That is how much hype surrounds these movies. And I honestly don't like that because none of that is true. Harry Potter is magical. The Hunger Games is just the Hunger Games. Just don't see the big deal about the whole Hunger Games train. In the end, guys, this movie does have some entertaining parts in it. You have a good performance from Jennifer Lawrence. You get to hang out with her for 2 hours and 17 minutes, and you have some really cool action scenes sprinkled in there. But the movie is badly paced to the point where it gets boring, dull, and way too slow. Too much build-up in some scenes that just takes you out of the movie and makes you want to fall asleep. And this movie has what I like to call the Return of the King ending, where the end just goes on and on and on and on and on, and it doesn't feel like it's ever going to end, and then it finally ends. You're like, holy shit, that took forever. Thank God it's over. The Madden meter says I will give the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 a 50. Mockingjay Part 1 was all build-up. This movie still felt like build-up. There was no big payoff, and that was what I was expecting. Have you seen The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2? What did you think about it? What is your favorite Hunger Games book, and what is your favorite Hunger Games movie? I can't really comment on the book side because I've only read the first book. My favorite movie was definitely The Hunger Games Catching Fire. Thought we were gonna get a lot better after that, but no. Feedback, so drop me a comment in the comment section below. And guys, I apologize, I've fallen behind on my Bond reviews. I will be getting those out to you. I did post my Skyfall review on my Facebook and my YouTube, so you can go check out my Skyfall review. If you don't know, I am reviewing all the Bond films in order from favorite to least favorite. I'll get back into my Star Wars reviews too, and I gotta do my Rise of the Tomb Raider. Pretty much, I've fallen behind on my reviews. But if I don't update tomorrow, happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time.